Greg Smoak.
KT Leveston Katori, Kansas State offensive lineman, joins us. Someone whose name expected to be called at some point this weekend, the NFL draft starting on Thursday night. KT with Paul Catalina, Craig Smoak. I'm David Smoak, and he remembers us because we did his games at Midway High School. How you been, young man?
Man, I've been great. Just out here living life.
So what are the expectations, and what is the week of the draft like in your case?
It's a roller coaster of emotions. Happy, anxious. It's a very exciting week. This is going to be a really exciting weekend. I'm going to be hopeful enough to see my name go across that board and just enjoy the time with friends and family.
KT, you've been there at Kansas State. You guys were an excellent offensive line. You've got Cooper Beebe also in this draft. How do you think that's prepared you, being in this offense, playing for Chris Klieman, Colin Klein, really being road graders and excellent run blockers has gotten you ready for the next level?
They did a really great job of preparing us for the next level. Connor Riley, the offensive line coach, that man, he pours his heart and soul into every player he brings in. He's going to push you hard. He's going to demand greatness out of you just because he knows everybody that he brings in can be great. And I feel like we've been able to show that over the past couple of years, how great the offensive line and not only how well we can elevate that offense too. I don't quote me on this, but I believe we had like a top 3 offense the past 3 years. And it's all credit to like that coaching staff being able to hold all the players accountable, the players being able to hold each other accountable, and just making that place a really special place.
What's it like to have Chris Klieman there at the top of the leadership poll?
He's a phenomenal man. Great leader. He's a player's coach. He knows what to say in the right moments for everybody, and then he's also gonna pretty much put all the responsibilities and the holding each other accountable on the players. So he wants his team player led. He calls it not his team. He says our team because he wants the players to know they have great ownership in that team. And so, that's why, we've had great years under him, great success. Because once we bought in and we knew that, okay, this is our team, we got to really take ownership, then he was just there to kind of do fine tuning, but he let us take the reins.
KT, the Kansas State culture, which Bill Snyder built from what was as bad a situation in college football as ever and did it twice. And it kind of seems like Coach Klieman has continued that too. Can you try to describe the culture of being a K-State football player?
Yeah, so I played 1 year under Bill Snyder. He was a great coach, and he was partly the reason why I wanted to go there because I wanted to play under a future Hall of Fame. Now he is a Hall of Fame, college Hall of Fame coach. And he was just the way that he took that program and turned it around and how he just kind of pushed everybody to be their best is what I liked. And then Klieman came in and he kept the same tradition because when he was at NDSU, that's they had the same type kind of culture and the same work ethic there. And he just kind of brought it here, modified it a little bit his way. But it's still the same, like, Nick, great, you go to K-State, you want to work hard and your hard work's going to pay off at the end of the season.
What is it like blocking for some of the running backs that you have? Deuce Vaughn, DJ Giddens, they're different guys. But what's it been like, open the holes for them?
It's definitely fun because, they have a ton of trust in their O-line and we have a ton of trust in them to make the right reads. I got to know all their strengths and weaknesses. They got to know all of our strengths and weaknesses. And that's just ultimately what will make an O-line great, and that's what will make a running back great. Outside of that, both of them are phenomenal athletes, great dudes off the field. Deuce is more of a finesse type guy. He's going to give you a little shake and bake, and he just adds that flavor to his team or to his skill level, to his bag. And DJ, he's a bigger back, so I mean, he can either shake you or he's going to run right through you. So I mean, whenever just seeing those guys like break free, get through our holes that we create and break free and like run somebody over or shake them, like, I mean, it just gets us fired up for the next play. And so we like to just keep running the ball at them and really wear down a defense just with our run game. And then we tear them up in the back end with our pass game. So, I mean, it makes it a lot fun.
How has KT Leveston, the player, grown the most since Midway High School? How has KT Leveston, the person, grown the most since Midway High School?
I would say I've grown the most since like Midway. As a person, just kind of like maturity level. Like obviously going into college, I was 18, still immature, but just maturing outside of football. I've graduated with my bachelor's, graduated with my master's. I mean, it's definitely been a fun ride, like and you kind of feel like you mature a little bit, but then having people around you say like, man, like since whenever I first met you to now, like you're just a completely like more mature person, like a grown man. And as a player, I mean, when I was on the field at Midway, I was still a pretty nasty player, like putting people in the dirt. But I would say like, just getting more physically stronger has really elevated my game, getting faster, getting stronger. I like got a little bit bigger. So, I mean, that's just kind of like elevated it. But I mean, I'm still the same person as when I was at Midway, when I strapped at that helmet and looked at the person across from me. I was letting them know like, hey, you got a long day, buddy. I'm coming for you.
By the way, congrats on the Masters. It's a huge deal. That's awesome.
You got 2 degrees, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
2 degrees. That's even better, no matter what happens with professional football. What was it about you? Jeff Hume used to tell me that for whatever reason, college coaches were enamored with your athleticism, despite how big you were. That they wanted to know if you could dunk a basketball. If you could play one of 2 sports, football or basketball, which would actually be the one you'd want to play?
I want to play basketball, but I was a lot better at football.
Yeah.
So,
like what I mean by that is like basketball, like, I obviously like I'm gifted to be a big player, but if you take me and put me on the court, like the dudes get a little bit bigger than me, a little taller in height. I mean, like body wise, I can hold my own, but like height wise, I mean, it's kind of hard. But I could dunk a basketball though. That was never a question.
So KT 6'5", 331 is what he measures at. And KT, I'll ask you this: when I used to interview you on the Midway player profiles, I'm 5'7". Obviously, you were physically intimidated by me.
Are you?
Yeah, 5'7". If I was lying, I'd say 5'8". Nobody claims 5'7" if they're not. Obviously, you were physically intimidated by me, but others you don't seem to be. So it was a surprise to me that you would even just say that.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, like if like an NBA team was to call me and was like, hey, like, we need you in the game, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give them some buckets. Like, I'll never back down from a challenge, but I might get like maybe 5 or 6 shots blocked.
Yeah, but you know what? You're going to body the hell out of them, too. They're going to feel you later on that day. What have NFL scouts said to you? You can play the offensive line. Tackle, of course, is where you've been entrenched for quite some time, and I'm sure if you needed to, move inside. What have they told you about where they see you playing?
Honestly, like, a lot of teams see me playing, like, moving inside, playing guard, but just because I have so much good tackle film, and then I was at the Shrine Bowl. I played only guard. I got a little bit of center in there. And I showed them I can play guard and center, that NFL teams have no doubt I'm able to play anywhere on the line. And that's a big thing. Like I've been really wanting to like let them know, like, hey, like wherever you need me at, I can hop in and I can fill in. There ain't gonna be no wrinkles. I got you, and I'm just ready to come in and just ready to get like grind and put that work in and go win a Super Bowl champion anywhere, like wherever I go.
Do you feel like because of your athleticism and your footwork that left tackle, which is where most of the money comes when it comes to the offensive line, that is something where you could possibly play that position at the NFL level?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm athletic enough. I got great footwork to where if I had to play left tackle, I'm going to be great at it at the next level. My arms are long, so you don't have to really worry about length. So, I mean, like, I feel like I'll be able to play left tackle. I can play right tackle. I can play left guard, right guard, center. So, I mean, like, even if they needed me to go in as like a ogre tight end, like an O-line tight end, I can get in there on like a power play and kick somebody out. Like, I'm telling you, wherever you need me, I'm getting in and I'm going to give you 100% effort and I'm going to make sure this play is efficient.
How much have you played guard?
In 21 and in 2020, I played a couple games at guard. Over the past 2 years, I've just mainly played left tackle.
KT.
So I'd probably give you a rough estimate, like 7 games.
Okay. You entered college in 18. All hell broke loose in 2020, the COVID year, and then the extra year. I think you have been 6 years at K-State. There was, the red shirt and then the extra year. You experienced all of the changes in college football that have been played since the 1800s in a matter of like your third, fourth, fifth, and sixth years. What was it like watching so much change from the extra year to NIL to the transfer portal? You never left Manhattan. How much of that was like sometimes just a blur?
It's been crazy. It's funny that you bring that up. So I was actually talking to my O-line coach here at K-State today about how college football has changed. And like, since I came into college, like there were a lot of strict rules. Like obviously you transfer, you lose a year. Athletes weren't getting paid, but to now is like, I compare it to almost it's the NFL before you get to the actual NFL. And it's wild because like college football used to be more so just about, man, guys wanting to go to college, wanting to get an education, wanting to have a shot to like, get paid and say, man, I've made it. But now it's to the point and I'm not discrediting, like, I'm all for like athletes being paid just because obviously I have been a college athlete, but like now you see some guys, they're just getting money thrown at them and they're losing the love of the game. They're just bouncing from college to college, trying to make as much money as they can. And then whenever it's their time to go to the league, guys are like, well, I've already made enough money. Like, I don't want to go to the league. And with the transfer portal rule, like, I mean, it's just insane how many times you see a guy, he may transfer like 4 times within his career in college, which is, it's wild to me knowing that when I got in, you could transfer 1 time and you'd still lose a year. And so it's been definitely a change. Obviously, like from like coaching standpoint, just hearing like coaches, hearing their experience of it is, I mean, you kind of have to get on board with the change or you're going to get left behind. And so, and I definitely understand that. So, I mean, it's kind of weird looking back at it, but I'm also kind of glad, like, I'm kind of hopping out of it, right? Like hopping out of college right now where I don't have to keep experiencing any more craziness.
You had the redshirt year, then you played, I think, in 50 games, started 32, at one point 27 in a row. You were pretty healthy along the way. Do you feel like, and this is a question we had asked in our chat room, it's off to the side of our screen on TV, on YouTube, do you feel like because of how long you've played the game, that actually you're more body ready, or is there any wear and tear that you're concerned about or the pros have brought up?
No, I'm pretty ready on the body. Just having that experience playing, you build that muscle memory. You kind of have to be a great athlete in this profession. You have to like really explore your body, like get to know your body mentally and physically. And I feel like I've done a phenomenal job over the past years, like knowing my do's and don'ts on my body, and the don'ts, like making those do's, and like, you know, just knowing everything and having my body like completely ready for rookie mini camp, training camp, and all this stuff coming up forward. So I'm pretty ready, like, you know, just to get to work, man, after this weekend.
Well, so where are you going to be this? Let's say the Thursday night's the first and second round, then it gets into the second day. And then Saturday, I'm just being honest with most of the projections that most likely that's going to come where, KT, you might get the phone call from multiple teams, your agent, et cetera. What is your day going to be like? What are you going to do? Where are you going to be?
Actually, I'm going to be back down in Waco this weekend. Yes, I'm going to be back down there. We're going to be celebrating on Saturday. It's going to be a pretty fun time, you know, get to see the family, the friends. I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm pretty fired up.
Do you have a team? You're from Texas, and a lot of times you could be from Philadelphia, and the Cowboys, you know, people want to play for the Cowboys, the star. Do you care? Is there one you'd rather play for? Does it matter?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I just want the opportunity to showcase my skills, to show them why I'm an asset to their team, and to end up winning the Super Bowl one of these years. And I always tell people, I'm like, I promise you, whatever team I'm on, like, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to get us there. So,
Coach Hume, by the way, said hi. I talked to him sometime last week when we were reaching out to get your number. He was good to you, and you were good to Midway, Hakeem White, Echeverria, all those guys. That were, I'm still like, my memory's not the same, but I still can't get over some of the crazy stuff that happened when you guys played for the state championship against Cy Fairbanks with the muff punts or kicks and all that. Was that like something that took you a while to get over?
Yeah, I actually, every time, like, I always tell people about that story. Like, I can remember that game very vividly. Like, we had 3 muff kicks in the first quarter. We had a bad snap in the third quarter. We had the onside kick at the end of the game to recover and try to go down and tie the game up, onside it, and they picked it up and scooped and scored. It's crazy. And like, I can't remember who I was telling about it, but they were like, it's wild that, like, how you remember those really important games so vividly. I was like, yeah, that game I'll never forget.
KT, I've always had this theory about you guys that year because you rolled along so well, but you guys had wild moments, especially in some games where the break should not have gone your way and it did. And then it's almost like your currency with the football gods just ran out all at once.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was crazy that year we went 15-0 all the way to state. We had a couple close games that early on the year. Majority of the time, like, the games were pretty much out of reach.
Yep.
We had a couple close. I want to say Temple that year, it was Temple. Copper's Cove, we had a close one.
Copper's Cove was 49-45. Yeah.
Yeah.
You beat Cedar Park in the opening game. Was pretty tight.
Yeah, that one was. I can't remember who it was. It was the school out east that we played in the semis.
Longview.
That was, Longview. Yeah. Well, that one was what, 28-26?
Yeah, and they missed a field goal. Yep, missed a field goal twice. They missed it twice. Yeah. Yeah, that was in the pouring down rain at Eagle Stadium in Allen. That was a classic. It's one of the most classic games I think we've all been a part of. And then, of course, the Cy Fair game. It seemed like you have done everything possible in your 6 years at K-State, growing up as a man, as a person, as a student, as a guy with a couple of degrees, and now a chance to play in the NFL. Always remembered that laugh in your personality. KT, we wish you the very best of luck in what happens this weekend.
Oh, yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Katori Leveston, that's what I always refer to him at. KT Leveston, the offensive tackle from Kansas State.
He was